Meditation. The main idea of this concept is to free yourself from constant thought and to sit back in the mind and observe yourself without judgment. How many here have tried a meditation practice before? Raise your hand again if you felt it benefited your state of mind afterward. Instead of only talking about it, I'm going to guide you through a 3-minute session. I want you all to start by taking 3 deep breaths. Count to 4 when you breathe in and 6 when you let it out. Imagine all of your stress lifting from your body and you feel your weight lighten. On the 3rd breath, I want you to gently and naturally let your eyes close. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep breathing. Observe any thoughts that enter your mind without judgment. Feel the way each breath goes into your lungs. Notice how your stomach rises and deflates. Feel your feet on the floor and your body in the chair. Remember, there's no right way to meditate. Do whatever comes naturally. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your weight lighten and imagine every negative thought and everything that's stressing you out leave your body. Four in, 6 out. On your last breath out, I want you to open your eyes. Anxiety and stress are 2 of the biggest issues plaguing society today, and I believe meditation is one thing you can do for yourself that will effectively help. I started my journey of deeper self-realization about 1.5 years ago. I won't sugarcoat it. In my life before this, I suffered from severe anxiety. My mind was not healthy, and I was afraid of being my real self around other people. I felt like I was at a constant internal battle. I knew there was a larger meaning to life than what I had thought, but I couldn't find that meaning in myself. I asked myself one question: am I going to continue to be a being missing out on being? That's when I decided I was going to stop living an unfulfilled life by following the societal path. I realized I needed to create my own. Meditation is one thing that has led me to and through my process of letting go and healing. I think the best way to describe my journey so far is inspired by my favorite poetry book, Inward, by Young Pueblo. He puts it into 4 parts: distance, union, self-love, and understanding. The first part of letting go is distance, to break off from limiting habits and beliefs that do not serve your growth or well-being. Distance takes time. Last year, I had basically put myself into solitude except for school, so I could really reflect on what was and was not working for my life. I started this step by cutting out toxic relationships, and I stopped putting myself in uncomfortable positions. I reflected on my beliefs, figuring out if they were really mine or the beliefs that others had fed my mind with. I had to learn to move past the ego, which means not confusing myself for my thoughts and disconnecting from that sense of self, that sense of me, that sense of you, in order to feel the oneness of everything that we actually are. A part of distance is to accept every thought and feeling fully, even if to you they may be negative, confusing, or scary. Remember that we are not our thoughts. Some people identify themselves with their mind, and this leads to overthinking. Distance also requires letting go. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means to stop bringing past energies into the present. In order to do this, you need to be completely honest with yourself and find the root of your unhappiness so you can change your view. Don't get me wrong, this part can be really hard, but it's also just the beginning. What negativity will you let go? After distance follows union, to come into harmony with all that is you. I remember one time last year, I was in a deep meditative state, and I felt an intense thought just take over me. That thought was, once you realize you can create your own happiness without relying on the external, is when you will truly see how powerful you are. It hit me hard then and there that I had been relying on materials and other people to bring me what I needed from life for so long. Every night from that point on, I began to make lists of things throughout my day that made me feel grateful and happy. I trained myself to live in a positive mindset and to give others my love, compassion, and listening unconditionally. I began to let myself feel free and victorious in every single moment, because that is how you experience your life fully. You have the power to choose how you perceive and experience everything. Union is also about meeting yourself deeper. The more of yourself you connect with, the more of others you can connect with. During that time of my life, my interest and talent in art really sparked for the first time. This is something I furthered since then, and watching how my skills progress only reminds me of my power even more. I know I can do anything I want, and you can too if you put your mind to it. Honesty is a big part of union. You have to be real with yourself for what makes you actually happy. Live the life you want. Don't be afraid to dance on a table or sing or eat that third donut. Whatever you want to do, whatever you love to do, because depriving yourself is only harming you. The third step is self-love. You are the only you, so you should never go through life hating and judging yourself. Choose to love everything about yourself. Your quirks, your scars, awkwardness, passions, talents, because they are all unique to your person. Loving yourself is also nurturing yourself. Since I've noticed the growth of my self-love, I've also seen a growth in my confidence and my strength. Gratitude meditation is one thing that has helped me during this step. It's widened my perception of life. I mean, I've made it a point to stop complaining about things because I know I have so much more to love than to hate. I know how fortunate I am to receive my education, to have food on my plate, clothes on my body, and a roof over my head. I will never take that for granted because I know some people don't even have that. Also, creating a wellness routine is an act of self-love. It can be as simple as devoting time for a bath, reading a book, changing your eating habits by cutting out processed foods, even yoga and meditation, because their sole purpose is to better oneself. Some see this as selfish, but remember, it's not. Everyone deserves to give themselves some R&R so they can grow. Doing what's necessary for yourself to flourish will inspire others to do the same. The last part is understanding, meaning having all the lessons you have learned in life embedded into your heart. Live your life for you, and you know that every mistake is impermanent and was meant to be there to teach you something. You can let go of all of the tension and regret that those events hold over you. We can all heal ourselves, and if the collective human race does this together, our world will change for the better, We'll have a world with more sisters and brothers and less single mothers. Meditation is one thing throughout this past year I knew I could always count on to center myself and remember what I am. With it, I am able to explore new parts of myself I was unaware of before. I can completely disconnect from the physical and harmonize with my soul. Healing from past hurt is a journey. Today, I am still dealing with my own challenges, but now they are presented with much more clarity. I am able to live free without restriction, and I know that all of my actions are my reflection, so I choose to carry myself with as much love as I can, not only for me, but for others as well. The question isn't, how can I afford to take a few minutes out of my day to meditate? It's how can I afford not to? To live your best life, begin the journey. Thank you.